Just saying. Don't go down to the lake this week. Tonight,
Yo,
particularly.
What
Did you
was
like that?
I just noticed that.
The Jason mask on top of my face.
Hold on.
Just don't go to the lake tonight. That's all I'm saying.
Well done,
I
sir.
won't be there either, so don't feel bad. It's a Friday edition of Main Street Sports Day presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Young here alongside Maurice Patton, and we are coming to you live from the Lee Company studio, and I'm doing my best to make sure. I think everything's working. Did everything work on your end, Justin? Trying new things today, folks.
Checking right now.
Looks to be good from my end, but of course I've had better luck than some others in the past. So we'll get a read here in just a minute. But yeah, everything's looking good.
Let's
on
go.
This Friday,
Yep.
Even though it's a little cloudy, Mo. Cloudy's no fun.
Cloudy's no fun, but I mean, as long as there's nothing in them, I guess we're all right. And I don't think there's anything set to come out of them.
Well,
anytime soon.
If that's the case, I will be happy. We'll all be happy.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's all be happy. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, it's going to be a good show. Looking forward to it. We've got former Tennessee State coach, but legendary Tennessee State player, Rod Reed, joining us here in just a moment. Also, he just happens to be Marcel Reed's dad, so that helps.
Texas A&M freshman quarterback Marcel Reed.
So
yeah, I'm thinking he might can give us a little unique insight into tomorrow's matchup as the Aggies go to just loud Neyland Stadium.
Loud is loud, Mo.
Loud is loud.
Loud is loud. It's what I hear. It's what I understand. I don't know.
That's what you hear.
That's what I've heard. I tell you, it's an exciting weekend for college football. Washington, Oregon is going to be a lot of fun. We've got 10 games that are quite intriguing that we will pick against the spread a little bit later. And of course, we'll have Terry McCormick as well. We will conclude, Mo, Braves chatter.
We might not necessarily conclude it. I mean, we'll probably talk some more about it, but on a game-by-game basis, yes, we will bring it to a premature halt.
Premature is exactly right. It's very unfortunate, and
yeah, you get what you get.
You do, in fact. You do, in fact.
I'm not even mad about it at this point. I'm just disappointed.
And that's worse.
Yeah.
To be honest. So
but the chatter is going to be interesting because I got some questions.
Well, I've got thoughts on some things, such as I have a theory about the playoff format and the results from said playoff format.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into it a little bit later. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good segment. So make sure to stick around for that. Also, SEC midseason awards, the schedule apparently is still not decided how they're going to do the schedule from 2025 and beyond, whether it's going to be 8 games, 9 games, 1 permanent opponent, 3 permanent opponents, all kinds of different things. And I don't know why this got brought back up today, but it is still kind of, out there. And so what I'm understanding is that the 1 permanent opponent idea is getting a little more traction than some may have anticipated and certainly won't. So we'll see what happens. Talk about that and much, much more. So stick around with us throughout the show. Right now, though, we're going to get you yesterday's results and today's results for some and this weekend's schedule on the rundown.
This is the rundown.
The Friday Rundown is brought to you by Chip Walters of Exit Realty Bob Lamb and Associates. The voice of the Blue Raiders also wants to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Contact Chip at 615-542-1915 or through his website at choosechip.net. Chip Walters, proud to support the youth sports across Middle Tennessee.
In high school girls golf state championships, it's Summertown taking the
I know that's a shot.
Team state title, which is what, 4 in a row? 5, 6, 7, 12?
6.
Yeah, 6 in a row.
Half a dozen.
That's a lot.
That's a bunch.
Carly Campbell finishes it off by taking the individual title, shooting 5 under par. The team shot 7 over par as a team, which is insanity. And yet, here they are, Summertown taking gold at girls golf. Volleyball sectional action yesterday. East Robertson Downs at Eagleville, 3-0. It was Harpeth 3. Summertown won Loretto, 3-0 winners over Camden. Class AA action. Signal Mountain ends Murfreesboro Central season 3-0, as does Valor Collegiate for Lexington 3-0, and Creekwood to White House Heritage also 3-0. East Hamilton edges Oakland 3-2. Nolansville takes care of Green Hill 3-1, and Brentwood a 3-0 winner over Gallatin. Clarksville falls at home to Houston 3-0, and Rossview goes to Collierville, and the Lady Dragons win 3-0 as well.
In girls soccer action from Thursday, it was Cheatham County doubling up Harpeth 4-2. Franklin with a 2-0 win over Ravenwood. Your District 9 AAA girls soccer champions, the Spring Hill Raiders, who went to Lincoln County and picked up a 2-1 victory. Congratulations to them.
You know they went undefeated in region play. Like, they had 3
8
ties.
million ties, yeah.
Which is ridiculous. They didn't lose a match in district play at all.
Yep.
That's crazy.
There you go. Congratulations again to them. Oakland with a 1-0 win over Siegel. Station Camp defeated White House 9-1, and it was Stewart's Creek 4, Wilson Central 0. In Major League Baseball action last night, Philadelphia Phillies advanced to the National League Championship Series with a 3-1 win over Atlanta, winning that series 3-1. College football, the Dana Holgerson Bowl goes to Holgerson.
Yeah. What a finish.
And the Houston Cougars with a 41-39 win over West Virginia. Also, SMU defeated East Carolina 31-10. In hockey action, the hosts, Nashville Predators, opened their season at Bridgestone Arena with a 3-0 win over the Kraken of Seattle. And in Thursday night NFL football, Kansas City defeated Denver 19-8 in a game that was probably closer than most people thought it would be.
Yeah, it was definitely closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah. Football action tonight, high school level, Beach hosting Siegel, all these at 7 p.m. local time. Kenwood's at Dixon County, Nashville Christian's at Fayetteville. Friendship Christian hosts York Institute and Giles County's at home against Community. Webb School goes to Good Pasture and Laverne's at Green Hill. Portland goes to Hendersonville, and Lipscomb Academy is at Knox Catholic. Lawrence County welcomes Shelbyville. Republic's at Liberty Creek. Loretto at home against Eagleville. Father Ryan at McCauley. Lebanon at Mount Juliet Christian at home against Glencliff. Coffee County's at Oakland. Blackman's at Riverdale. Pope Prep goes to Rockville. Smith County is hosting Westmoreland. Stewart's Creek is at Smyrna. Creekwood is at Station Camp. Richland goes to Summertown. The King's Academy hosting Middle Tennessee Christian. Grundy County's at Watertown. White House hosts Upperman, and Gallatin is at Wilson Central.
College football action tonight. 6 o'clock, ESPN. Tulane comes to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium to take on the host Memphis Tigers. Also, Fresno State is at Utah State. That's a 7 o'clock kick on CBS Sports Network. And in Pac-12, it's not really after dark because it's only a 9 o'clock central kickoff. But Stanford is at Colorado. That game is on ESPN following Tulane, Memphis. Saturday, breakfast with the Commodores, 11 o'clock on CBS. It's Georgia coming to First Bank Stadium, taking on Vanderbilt. Also at 11, Arkansas is at Alabama. That one's on ESPN. At 1 o'clock on ESPN Plus, Gardner-Webb is at Austin Peay. 2:30 on CBS, the second half of the CBS doubleheader, Texas A&M at Tennessee. And at 5 o'clock on ESPN Plus, Norfolk State plays at Tennessee State. Is that at Nissan or is that in the hole?
Probably. That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll check on that. NHL action. Predators go on the road taking on Boston. Is that tomorrow?
I'm sorry. Yes, it is.
Saturday, 6 o'clock, Bally Sports South. Sunday, across the pond, the Titans and the Ravens will kick it off at 8:30 a.m. Sunday morning on NFL Network. And in WNBA action, this could close it out. Game 3, Las Vegas Aces are at the New York Liberty. That's a 2 o'clock tip-off on ABC. The Aces lead that best-of-5 series 2-0.
Yes, Nissan Stadium will be hosting Tennessee State and Norfolk State.
And Norfolk State. All right. The Spartans.
They ain't got anything else going
The
on.
Tigers. No, ain't nothing else happening
Nissan.
at Nissan this weekend.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your rundown.
Stories brought to you by our friends at Piggly Wiggly. And if you have not been to Piggly Wiggly and had your delicious lunch, you can also get a nice piece of this strawberry cake.
Product placement.
Yeah,
I like
that's
it.
right. That's why I didn't eat it, but yeah, looking delicious. And lunch was delicious as well.
What'd you get?
Had a little fish with hush puppies, mac and cheese, and turnip greens. Just always phenomenal. So,
What color did they have today?
it looked like either cherry or blackberry. I didn't see because I wasn't looking because I had strawberry cake. So I wasn't really paying attention to the cobbler.
I understand.
But yeah, go by, get your daily lunch from the deli. Of course, they've got fresh hand-cut meats, fresh produce, and all cost plus 10 at the register. Today's top story, Mo, is going to send some people that I know, my dad probably included, into hiding as they think about the
first play.
The first play.
The first play. I was sitting there.
Of the 1995 third Saturday in October. Yeah. He was sitting there too.
That was fun.
No, it was fun for me and my first game as a Tennessee fan. So
There you go.
there you go. Joey Kent, the recipient of the touchdown pass from Peyton Manning in that 95 Alabama-Tennessee game, has been named to the SEC Legends class this year, and boy, are there some legends in this class.
First of all, let's talk a little bit about Joey. He led Tennessee in receiving as a sophomore, junior, and senior. 2-time first-team All-SEC selection, second-team All-American. Career record holder in receptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, 100-yard games, and average yard per catch. That's pretty good.
It's interesting. So here's the thing. Not only was he 2-time first-team All-SEC, but he was also an All-Freshman SEC.
Mm-hmm.
So technically he was All-SEC 3 times, just not first team. That's impressive. 3 out of the 4 years and you're All-SEC, you'll take that.
He was selected 46 overall by the Tennessee Titans in the second round of the 97 draft and was on that Super Bowl 34 team for the Titans. Played 4 years in the league, including the Colts and Vikings, and Huntsville native.
Huntsville native. That's right.
So congrats to him. Well-deserved honor. Also, Jamie Winburn from Vanderbilt will be their SEC legend. All of these guys will be recognized during the SEC championship game weekend in Atlanta. Winburn is Vanderbilt's career leader in tackles for loss. Was an All-American and All-SEC. Started 3 years. Owns 2 of Vanderbilt's top 6 single-season tackle for loss totals, including 23 in 1999. 3-time All-SEC, led the team in total tackles 3 years. Finished with 141 career stops. Second round pick of the 49ers in 2001. Played for the 49ers, Jaguars, Bucks, Broncos, and Titans. Was named the 49ers Ed Block Courage Award recipient in 2004 after he overcame a neck injury sustained in practice in 2003 and is a cancer survivor. So congrats to Jamie as well. And as you said, this is a great class.
Yes, other recipients from Alabama, the fantastic offensive tackle Andre Smith will be their SEC legend. From Arkansas, going all the way back to 1968 to 1970, Dick Bumpus, defensive tackle. Auburn's Ed King, offensive lineman from 88 to 90. Florida.
It's nice to see these offensive linemen getting some love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Florida, quarterback Shane Matthews. Most of us remember him. And also remember Georgia's Noshawn Marino, running back from 2007 to 2008. Man, he was a lot of fun to watch.
He's a bad man.
Kentucky's Wesley Woodyard, linebacker from 04 to 07. James Britt from LSU, defensive back in 79 to 82. Ole Miss, man, you want to talk about
the pride of Brewston, Tennessee.
This guy right here was absolutely just dominant during his tenure as a linebacker with Ole Miss. Patrick Willis from 03 to 06, and then in the league as well with San Francisco 49ers most of that time. So just a fantastic, fantastic player. Reggie Kelly, tight end from Mississippi State, 95 to 98. Missouri, I guess we're just Missouri history here. It's not necessarily SEC history.
Well, I mean, same thing with Dick Bumpus from Arkansas. That was prior to them.
Yeah, that would have been way prior.
Yeah.
Chase Kaufman, tight end from 05 to 08 for the Tigers. South Carolina's Marcus Lattimore, man, just still hurting.
What might have been, yeah.
Great running back from 2010 to 2012. And Texas A&M's Ray Childress, defensive lineman from 81 to 84. So
went on to NFL stardom with the Oilers, Cowboys. Yeah, this is a great class, man. And again, congrats to all of them. They will be recognized again during SEC championship game weekend. December 1st and 2nd at Atlanta. Highlighted by the annual SEC Legends Celebration, December 1st at the College Football Hall of Fame. And they'll be recognized prior to the championship game on December 2nd at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So, again, congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, well-deserved honor for those folks. So looking forward to seeing Joey and Jamie and Andre particularly. And, of course, you know, Patrick Willis is just, man, every time I think about that guy, that's when I was in college and I was really into college football, and just every Saturday he was a menace. An absolute
That's a great way to put it.
He was a menace to offenses. And one of the, you know, Eli Manning gets a lot of credit for those years at Ole Miss, but I think Patrick Willis might have had just as much, if not more, to do with their success under David Cutcliffe.
Well, I mean, it's very similar to, you know, Peyton Manning, Al Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of West Tennessee products.
Almost identical.
Yeah.
It is wild how complimentary, you know, those two were to have guys that good on both sides of the ball. Just it's not typical. You just don't see it all the time. So, man, those Ole Miss teams were fun to watch. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Rod Reed will join us via phone. So stick around here on Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be right back after these messages.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handlers supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well-rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We have an update from golf boys golf.
We do have an update from the Class A Boys Golf State Tournament as the Region 8, I'm sorry, not Region 8, they were Region 6A champion Mount Pleasant Tigers finished 8th in the 8-team field at the Class A State Tournament, finishing with a 2-day total of 736, 116 strokes behind state champion Kingston. So, individuals, oh, it looks like they're final as well. Defending state champion Cole Campbell of Summertown finished with a 2-day 143, 1-stroke under par, and 6 strokes back of the winner, William Bacon from Kingston. Bolivar's Carson Daniel finished second with a 2-day 139. So Cole Campbell finishes third, and his next stop will be the operating room. Kid's been playing with torn labrums in both hips.
And still shot 1 under. So, Justin, what's your excuse? That's what I say.
My excuse is I just wasn't very good.
That's a great excuse.
That is a great excuse. I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine having a torn labrum, let alone playing golf on them.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So
I have no desire to do any of those things.
No, so he's going to have one labrum fixed, go through PT, have the other labrum fixed, and should be ready to return by June, according to his uncle, John Campbell. Meanwhile, state champion, 4-time state runner-up, Carly Campbell, John's daughter, is dealing with thoracic outlet syndrome that has hampered her since last summer. And they're trying to figure out whether she's going to have surgery to address that or not. So, goodness, checking on those deductibles for the Campbells, but wishing them the best of luck. Carly is a Kentucky commit and is going to do great things at the next level. And I don't imagine Cole is too far behind her. So, congrats to them.
Yeah. Now, we go to the phone lines, Mo, as Tennessee State legend joins us. Sherrod Reed. Coach, what's up?
Hey, how y'all doing, man?
Doing well, Coach. Appreciate you taking some time with us. Thought we might bring you in to get some unique insight on this Texas A&M Tennessee matchup tomorrow over at Neyland Stadium. I don't expect you to necessarily divulge any insider information, but I imagine you've seen this A&M team a time or two this year, and just wanted to get your thoughts on this matchup.
Man,
particularly from a former coach's, viewpoint. Yeah.
Well, from a coach's perspective, man, you watch A&M. They've been a little up and down when you start talking about, consistent play. But one thing that has been consistent over the last, I want to say, 3 or 4 games is that defensive front seven, man. They've really dominated in a lot of areas. I want to say, they've had 28 sacks or 21 sacks in the last, 3 or 4 games. So they've really been getting after the front. I think they have one of the best front forwards in college football, bar none. They roll those guys in there. They got about 8 guys that they can roll in there and still get a consistent pass rush and stop the run. Where they've been a little inconsistent is on the offensive side of the ball. They move the ball up and down the field well. They kind of sputtered out in the red zone a little bit. And I'm imagining that was probably been a big emphasis in practice because they haven't had problems moving the ball, but they have had problems in the red zone. They kicked a few field goals when they probably should have scored touchdowns. And some of it was self-inflicted with penalties. I mean, I think against Bama, you get down inside the 5 or inside the 3 with and then you get an offsides penalty, and then you get backed up, and then you end up having to kick a field goal. So, some of those things are self-inflicted, but I do think, switching from Connor to Max after the injury to Connor, there's a little different skill set back there. Pocket passer, sit in there and try to, read out and throw the balls. Connor made a few more off-schedule throws and gets up and moves around in the pocket really well. So it's going to be a chess match. I think Tennessee gets the ball out really quick. So it's going to challenge that pass rush to get there. But by the same token, those guys have been cooking the last couple of weeks. So it's going to be interesting to see if Texas A&M can get the run game going. I know Tennessee, people think they're a pass team, but they really want to run the football. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, 231 yards a game averages Tennessee on the ground. A really dynamic backfield with Jalen Wright, Jabari Small, and Dylan Sampson. So it's going to be a test for both the offensive line of Tennessee and the defensive front seven for Texas A&M on Saturday, and it's probably going to be one of the more intriguing matchups throughout the day because of that. For guys like for those of us who really watch the game for things outside of what's going on with the football. It will be a fun game to watch, and I'm excited about it. So, Coach, as you talk about that Texas A&M offense, they've got some struggles, mainly because, they lost their quarterback. But Max Johnson is not a bad backup. If you had to pick a backup in the SEC, Max Johnson's a pretty good one to have, and he gives you a chance to win. So, how does Max give Texas A&M an opportunity to get a win on the road in the SEC?
Well, number one, I think he's got to protect the football. I think, we had a fumble last week, and, we came right out of the half up, I think 17-10, and we throw a pick six on probably the second play after halftime, and you can't turn the ball over against top 10 football team, let alone Alabama, and expect to win. I think we had a couple of turnovers in that game. But I think, Max has to get the ball out of his hands a little quicker. I think Coach Petrino will probably figure out some things to get that going and, just simplify it a little bit for him. And again, that the best pass defense is a pass rush. And I think Alabama's pass rush affected him tremendously in the second half of that game. They physically dominated up front in the second half of the football game last week. And, Texas A&M has a really good freshman tackle, Chase Basantes, on that right side over there. And I think he gave up a big safety in the end zone. But the kid has been playing well. But when you put him up against those two, outside back at the end time, as you're asking a tall task if you're not sliding or chipping and helping them out. So I think, get the ball out of the hands of Max really quick because Anais Williams, Evan Stewart, Moose Muhammad, those guys, they really know what to do with the ball when they get their hands on it. So I think, kind of like Coach Petrino said, when he first got the job, feed the studs and get it to them quick and let them do work with the ball in their hands.
Former Tennessee State football coach Rod Reed joining us here on Main Street Sports today as we take a look at Texas A&M heading into this 2:30 matchup tomorrow on CBS at Neyland Stadium against 19th ranked Tennessee? Is that right?
Believe so.
And Rod, I think you've kind of answered my question. When you're a coach, you're always a coach, whether you're a parent or not. You certainly look at Marcel's team through a coach's lenses, but what's it like being a parent at this level?
Man, I'll tell you what, it's been a great experience. Being at Cal Field last week with 108,000 people in the stands, and I'm sure it's going to be a pretty similar atmosphere tomorrow at UT, although I won't be able to be at that one. I think that I'm having a blast, man, just watching it and being able to communicate with him on pretty much. I think I call him a little bit too much. He gets tired of me just asking him, how practice has been and this and that. And, when Connor went down, he moved from the scout team up to, the regular team. And then he goes back down and he's meal roll for Alabama week, things like that. But he's enjoying it, man. He's having a good time. I think the coaches really, really like him. A lot of the players, they speak really highly of him, not only as a player, but as a person. And that's one of the most important things for me, for him to be seen as a great person and a leader. So I think when this time comes, I think he'll be ready for the opportunity, and look out.
I was fascinated knowing, Marcel's background, 3-sport standout, even some baseball earlier in his high school career, and watching him develop as an athlete and as a young man, wondering what he was going to wind up, choosing to pursue at the next level. But with a football coach dad, I was always kind of fascinated by the entire recruiting process. You haven't been in so many folks' living rooms during your career, those guys coming into your place and you kind of being able to cut through the BS, I imagine. I mean, do you feel like they took a different approach with Marcel and with the Reed family than they may have with some other kids, given your background?
No, I mean, it was pretty much kind of status quo. A lot of the, with the home visits and things of that nature, they came in and, talked about things that were important to them and asked him about things that were important to him and us as a family. And I just think, toward the end there, as you know, Marcel was committed to Ole Miss for a little while. And I think that at the end, it came down to what was going to be best for him. There's a lot of hearsay going on with the other program over there. And, at the quarterback position is so particular, you can't be up on the air on who your coach is going to be or, what system is going to be run and where you're going to fit. So it came down to Damian Craig and Jimbo Fisher, and Kevin Mashack was a recruiting coordinator at A&M at the time. And they did a really good job, closing the deal. Coach Freeze did a good job, with the short time we had an opportunity to try to get involved with Auburn. So there was a lot of people, man. Jeff Levy at Oklahoma, a lot of good recruiters out there, a lot of people that impressed me as a head coach to see how they handled Marcel in this process.
Kevin Mashack. It's a familiar name.
Yeah, Mashack's my guy.
Worked for you, didn't he?
He did. He was my matter of fact. Mashack was he was a GA when I was just a coordinator, and but he was a guy that was always a student of the game. He wanted to learn about football. Even when I was coaching and he was in school, when I would go down in December in Miami, he wanted to tag along and see how to recruit and what was being said and the kind of notes that you took. So he was always a student of it. And I think he's found his niche, in this recruiting deal.
It's interesting that you mentioned the, kind of the offense and the style of play being up in the air. Obviously didn't necessarily expect Bobby Petrino to come in and be the offensive coordinator when he decided to go to Texas A&M. But what's that been like for him, learning under guys like Jimbo Fisher, who's won a national championship, and Bobby Petrino, who's coached in the National Football League? That has to be a very huge learning process.
I often ask him. I think early on when he first got there, obviously we would have liked to gotten him there in the spring, but the private school system here in Nashville doesn't allow young men to graduate in December to be a part of that, spring ball. Would love to see him go through spring ball, but I think when he got there in the summer, he picked it up pretty good. And there's a couple of podcasts. I think Tex Hags and Billy Lucci down there with Texas A&M, they do a podcast just about every day. They cover A&M football, and they were saying that they were really impressed on how well he picked up on the offense and how sharp he was in the field room, and how well he threw the ball. And those were things that really didn't surprise me because, he kind of understands a little bit of football. But being under Petrino and Coach Fisher, who are known for developing quarterbacks, I think it's been great for him. I think he's learned a lot. And I think, when he get a little meat on his bones, I think he's going to be a really good player for him.
Oh, what's he weighing right now, Rod?
Well, he's about 12 pounds heavier than he was when he left here. So they're doing something right. He's about in between 180 and 183 on a daily basis.
Yeah, you need to probably double that to be ready for the rigors of the Southeastern Conference, I guess.
Yeah,
otherwise you really got to depend on that offensive line to keep you clean, right?
Yeah, that too. And Marcel's pretty elusive, so he doesn't take he hadn't to this point taken a lot of solid hits, but the speed of the game is much faster. But I think, I really think, and I told him this, man, if you're gonna just be down there and even though you're up with the A team and all that, and you're just standing around, go get some work on the scout team. There's no better work to be able to get for a quarterback to go down there and see a fastball look every day and be able to throw against A&M's D-line and their DBs and, linebackers every day and complete passes and get them better. That's going to help you out in the future. So that's kind of what he's been doing a little bit. Although he's one of the guys that's on deck right now, if something were to happen to Max. But, I'm praying that Max, kind of stays healthy and stays in there because he doesn't, I don't really want him to lose that redshirt year, but, who knows, man. Whatever happens. It's football. He still got a long season to go, but, hopefully Max can stay upright and do a really good job for us.
Rod Reed joining us here at Tiger Pride 53 on Twitter and talking a little bit about Texas A&M Tennessee. They'll play tomorrow at 2:30 on CBS. You might want to find wherever they put their games in the event that Georgia Vanderbilt is still ongoing, or they may move Georgia Vanderbilt at that point. Just depends on what it looks like. I don't know. So, but Coach, man, we really appreciate you taking some time with us. I know that you guys, you're out on a family adventure right now. We appreciate you, getting with us for a few minutes and talking a little ball.
Coach, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know what happened right there. I'm driving, so.
Right, yeah. No. So, again.
With that said, we appreciate you taking some time with us, man, and we'll let you get back to the family excursion that you're in the midst of. But thanks again for taking a few minutes with us.
Hey, man, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Tell Marcel we said good luck and enjoy that freshman year. When we come back, we'll talk a little baseball. Plenty of it to talk about. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today on this Friday the 13th edition returns in just a moment.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. October 13th, 1999, two-run homers by Brian Jordan and Eddie Perez in the sixth inning provided all the offense the Braves would need to take a 2-0 lead in the NLCS with a 4-3 Game 2 victory over the visiting Mets. Kevin Millwood picked up the victory with John Smoltz pitching a scoreless ninth inning for the save in his first ever relief appearance. That was this day in Braves history.
Kevin Millwood. That's a good one. Forget how good he was for a long time.
Well, and as a 3-4 kind of guy,
he was consistent, and you'll take that. He was consistent for a long time, and man, that's a great name. Hadn't heard that one in a while. Not, however, a great night for the Atlanta Braves as they fall in Game 4 to the Philadelphia Phillies 3-1 in yet another fantastic outing from Spencer Strider wasted in this series. Viewer Gary Lloyd from down in Alabama, please don't discuss. Skip this segment. We understand.
Trust me, it pains us as much as it does you, Gary.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. And you know what? At this point, it's basketball season. So.
No, come on now.
I got to wipe my tears.
Hey, we're still for the A. Put it over a helmet. It is basketball season, but yeah.
It is, in fact, basketball season. So.
No, Jeff Schultz of the Athletic wrote an article saying that, and let me preface this by saying, anybody that does not want to discuss the playoff format as a factor
That's all
in the Braves' demise is strictly doing so that they don't get accused of whining.
That's correct.
I'm not saying it's the reason.
That's correct.
Because again, Houston has figured something out. Now, that makes me wonder, does Major League Baseball really want to hold up Houston as Exhibit A for something? Given their background?
How has Houston figured it out is the question.
At some point, don't you have to ask that? Given past history?
I'm asking it right now. I'm just saying.
I mean, I love Dusty Baker, but this is not a franchise that has done everything on the up and up all the time. So if you want to hold them up as the reason that the playoff format is not flawed, do so at your own peril.
Yeah.
But again, it's a factor.
It is a factor.
It may not be the factor. And I'm willing to say I accept that. But Jeff Schultz says it's not the playoff format. This Braves team needs to make a change. Okay.
What's the change?
What change?
What change does it
What needs to be changed? Because again, over 162 games, this team was the best team in baseball.
And that has to mean something. And it does to me. Like, listen, I'm not going to just forget all of the great things that happened this season because it was a phenomenal ride.
It was, but I mean, from before the All-Star game, we were saying that nothing that this team does matters if they don't win a World Series, and I still feel that way. I mean, I'm not going to say that this season was a failure per se, but clearly it didn't end the way we wanted it to.
Here's the thing. I think you have to look at the regular season and the postseason as two completely separate, different things. And the reason you have to do that is because of the format that it's being played in.
Well, I mean, so here's my question. Jeff Schultz's vague statement notwithstanding, how do you address this team to make it better for the postseason?
The question that I posed in the tweet that I put out was what went wrong. And so what does this team need to change? I can tell you. It needs one thing. It needs, and I don't mean this as a player, I mean this as a mentality. It needs Jock Peterson. It doesn't need Jock Peterson. It just needs the Jock Peterson.
Why not?
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be Jock. It can be anyone who has that.
Well, I mean, you
mentality.
have to identify that person, though.
This team forgot how to have fun. They went into this series tight. They went into it trying to. They were pressing.
Did they go into it tight because they were the best team in baseball?
Yes. They were. It wasn't necessarily playing not to lose, but they weren't just saying, "Screw it, let's go play baseball and have fun."
We are those.
Yeah. If you looked at any point, if you looked at the beginning, the opening segments of the show, where anytime they were showing Ronald Acuna, almost never a smile on his face. That's a problem. If Ronald's not having fun, Ronald has issues. And Ronald Acuna Jr. had issues in this series because he simply felt like he had to be the MVP rather than just being Ronald Acuna Jr., who happened to be the MVP. Does that make sense?
That makes perfectly good sense. There's been a lot of fingers pointed on social media. Everything comes back to the Braves offense because pitching did its job.
Outside of Game 3,
that game just got away.
Okay, but go ahead.
Kevin Pillar has to score on that wild pitch last night.
I understand his thought process, though.
Yeah, but
look, I understand it.
What is it they say? There's three types of people: those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that wonder what happened. Bryce Harper makes things happen. In that second game, he decided this ball is off the fence. I'm going to score and tie the game. It didn't work, but he's trying to make a play. Kevin Pillar on a ball that's off the left-hand batter's box and scoots away from Real Muto, doesn't get a good read. If he scores there, it's a one-run game, and everything changes. He's playing it safe.
Well, I think he was trying not to take the bat out of Ronnie's hands. Because one of two things happens. One, he's out.
Mm-hmm.
Two,
everybody moves up and they walk.
And they walk Ronnie.
To face Ozzie Albies,
who subsequently.
But it's in this offense. Should you be concerned with taking the bat out of somebody's hand?
I mean, he's your MVP. And listen, I don't know if you've seen this video or not, but
yes,
I'm a conspiracy theorist, and if you don't think that I'm conspiracy theorizing over the weighted ball, I am. Why did he need 3 balls? Why did he need 3 different balls? And how come the first ball he got after they brought the new ones out there was fine? How come that one was good and none of the others were. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Listen, Craig Kimbrell, love the guy.
He's trying to win a ball game.
Braves legend,
Yeah.
trying to win a ring. I ain't mad at him.
Yeah.
Okay. But look, I feel like even if he does score, it's still a what if moment. Yes, it changes the dynamic of the ninth inning because then all you need is a deep fly ball or a fly ball deep enough to score Marcell Ozuna from third to tie it, and who knows what happens. Of course, we popped up twice, and Vaughn Grissom may or may not have swung.
Vaughn Grissom may or may not have gotten 3 strikes.
No, he definitely did not get 3 strikes because the first one was not. I don't care what scorecard tells you. The first one was not a strike.
I just feel like there are times that you can't necessarily afford to play it safe. I know you're not supposed to make third out at home plate. I get that.
And it's Kevin Pillar.
But he's got to read that. And I mean, you see the lead he had.
Yeah, he had a pretty good lead.
I mean, he had a good secondary. You got to see that. You got to read that. You got to make that, I think.
Well, it's Real Muto, though. And Real Muto is very, very good behind the plate. So I can understand not thinking it's going to get away from JT Real Muto. I mean, it got away, but who's to say that, he doesn't shoulder it back in front of him and then you're all hung out to dry, which I don't know who was on first base, but was it Forrest Wall? No, Forrest was on second. Whoever was on first base should have been out because they were at second base when Real Muto picked up the ball. It looked like it was almost. So
was it Arcia?
I think it might have been Nicky Lopez.
Yeah,
because
it was Nicky Lopez. Yeah, because Wall came in for Arcia,
right,
and he was at second.
So
yeah.
Anyway, I'll say this, and understand that I have been in AA We Trust from day one, but I was also in J-Rob We Trust for a long time too. Some of this has to be on Alex Anthopoulos.
What specifically?
Putting Charlie Morton on the injured list was ridiculously stupid.
Yeah.
That may have been the worst general managerial move he's ever made.
Yeah.
Zero reason to do it. You didn't need to play. You could have played a man down the last 2 weeks of the season with no reason not to.
Yeah.
Knowing you were going to need him. All right. And Jesse Chavez not being on the postseason roster was criminal. And here's the thing. We talked about Jock Peterson. One of the guys who would have helped, Guillermo Heredia. I know that sounds stupid. I know it sounds stupid. But you don't think that guy running around with swords in the dugout with a panda head if we needed one? I mean, he would have done whatever it took to keep that team loose and light. That's the kind of guy we didn't have in the dugout. Because the leader of the team in this series, vocally and even visually, was Spencer Strider. He was the one yelling at the umpire in game 2. He was the one who kind of, took the I'm going to get this done by God attitude.
Yeah.
He was the only one doing that, but it was an aggressive rather than a lighthearted and fun. And so that is an issue with this team. This team needed somebody to make them have fun.
And that has historically been an issue with this team.
Sure.
Is that business-like approach. And, when you had Sandoval a few years ago, when you had Heredia, when you had that looseness, when you had Jock Peterson, that was when things started to turn a little bit in spite of Freddie and Dansby. So it'll be interesting to see what moves get made over the offseason to try to address
something's
fun and loose.
Something's got to happen with the rotation as well, as Kyle Wright's out for the year.
Yeah, shoulder surgery yesterday, Wednesday.
So Kyle Wright's out for the year. You'll get Freed. You may have Morton if he decides not to hang it up. He may decide to hang it up. I don't know.
Where is he in Anderson?
Well, he had the surgery.
So, but when did he have it? I mean,
It
how
was
far
early
back?
last year. He could be back, and if he is after surgery, he may be back to Ian Anderson. Who knows? I mean, there are options on this team, but there's not a third guy unless Charlie Morton says I'm back.
Well, Bryce Elder.
Now,
I mean,
look, I want Bryce to do well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think over time he would be a very good fourth or fifth guy. I need a third guy. And if it's not Morton, we got to go get somebody. And I think,
and Morton's option is $20 million. He might have to come off of that for it to be Morton.
I don't think so. I think 20 million is fine. I think they were happy to pay it this year and would be happy to pay it again based off what he gave you. Worth it. I know I have a question, or what is Rob Manfred's ultimate goal? I have a theory on what his ultimate goal is.
Does he want to be the NFL?
I'm going to tell you what his ultimate goal is, but right now we're going to take a break, get to Terry on the other side of that before we go to college football. I'm going to give you one more thing to think about in Major League Baseball. Take a quick break. Terry McCormick right after this with your Titans update on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint.
He shoots and he scores!
Since 1975, Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic has treated the orthopedic needs of Middle Tennessee residents. The trained physicians provide surgical options and minimally invasive options to treat all orthopedic needs. The walk-in clinic, OrthoQuick, helps you bypass the ER while treating sports injuries and acute needs Monday through Saturday. Visit MTBJ online at mtbj.net or on social media at Mid-Tennessee Bone Joint Clinic.
You all right over there?
There we go. Wow, I heard it twice and I didn't know what was going on. Terry McCormick with your daily Titans update. What's up, Terry?
How are you guys? The Titans have arrived over in London. And so your Zen Sports Titans report today is all about their travel over there and their practice. I saw that Jim Wyatt of the team website had put out a video of Ryan Tannehill meeting with the media. And I'm going to tell you, Ryan looked a little bit like he'd pulled an all-nighter studying for a test from being on that plane all the way over to London. But Mike Vrabel said that it was a good practice. They got done what they needed to do. The biggest concern, other than adjusting to the time and things like that, is the fact that Tierre Tart is going to be questionable, and so is Aaron Brewer, your starting center. So there's a key guy in the middle on each side of the ball that you got to wonder if they're going to be able to give it a go, and if they are, how effective they're going to be. The good news is Jeffrey Simmons does not have an injury designation, so he's expected to suit up with that shoulder. And then, of course, yesterday, as the injury report came out shortly after I was on with you guys, and Traylon Burks, Elijah Molden, Luke Gifford all ruled out. They didn't even get to make the trip over. So interesting as the Titans get ready for the Ravens, still battling some key injuries on several different fronts.
And that's got to be tough. We're going to London. You're staying home.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to go?
Yeah, come on. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, and the worst part of it, guys, is the training staff obviously has to go over to London
Yeah, so what are they
to
doing?
take care of the guys who are there and playing in the game. So you don't even really get to do your rehab work with the trainers and the doctors because they're in London with the team. So you're just basically got a weekend to yourself.
I feel like St. Thomas probably has somebody that they can go see if
I'm sure.
necessary. But
One would
but
think.
yeah, they probably, hey, look, rest is not necessarily a bad thing either. One of the things that I'm most intrigued about is the fact that they practice immediately after getting there. And I wonder if that's not kind of genius in you were just 6 hours on the plane, get off, don't let jet lag set in. Let's get it done, then go sleep for 12 hours. You don't have to get up and practice.
He was actually going to give them a little bit of time to go sightsee, do whatever they wanted to do. They're going to be turning in by 8 o'clock, I think it is. So then they're going to get a good night's sleep, catch up on all that, and then have a walk through tomorrow, and then be on what I guess would be a normal schedule in time for the game, which is 8:30 in the morning here on Sunday, but it's 2:30 in the afternoon when it kicks off over there.
Yeah. 2:30 in the afternoon sounds good.
Yeah, 2:30 in the afternoon sounds good. It sounds a lot better than
8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I wish it were, but whatever.
Yeah.
Terry, we appreciate it. Tell us about Zen Sports.
All right, glad to tell you about Zen Sports. Zen Sports is the new sports book in Tennessee. They're changing the bonus game for the better. Zen Sports is also revolutionizing the way you earn sports betting rewards. With Zen Sports, your rewards are cash rewards. You bet with real money, and now you're rewarded with it too. Earn a 5% cash back welcome bonus for your first 15 days when you sign up with code MAINSTREET, MAINST. Keep betting and keep earning every month after that with up to 3% cash back rewards on your betting volume. Best of all, earn cash commission on your referral bets with the Zen Sports Referral Rewards Program. Zen Sports, betting just got better. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and older and in Tennessee to bet.
Y'all, I'm serious right now. They have a dragon here. I saw it. But no, they don't. There's no such thing as dragons. I swear, I saw it. It had huge claws. Get out of here. It had eyes as big as the moon. Come on, I'll show you. Wait up. Do you hear that? We're almost there. Whoa! I told you so. That is a dragon.
Smiles. These are the healthy smiles of real Delta Dental members. Folks with access to the nation's largest network of dentists and low-deductible plans with 100% preventive care coverage, all backed by over 65 years of expertise. Go online or give us a call to learn about affordable individual plans that meet your needs. 1-855-844-0445.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Friday the 13th edition here as we get you ready for the weekend of sports ahead. College football, pro football, all coming your way. But before we get into it, let me go back to Major League Baseball because I do have a theory on what Rob Manfred's ultimate goal is. And I actually suggested it earlier this week. Teresa Walker has suggested it. Shortening the season. And he wants it to be our idea.
I think you're giving Rob Manfred way too much credit.
Maybe. But this guy doesn't like baseball.
No.
He wants less baseball. Unless it's in the playoffs, apparently.
Well, he wants less baseball in the playoffs, too. I mean, best of 5. Because I mean, you could again.
It's still
we
7 games.
we had
so
this
yeah.
discussion. You
Could be
could
8.
play. You could play a best of 7.
Yeah.
All the way through, and that might, offset the bye. I don't know. Here's
I don't
something.
think it would have offset this bye.
Well, yeah. Here's something way out of the box. You got 6 teams from each league, 3 division champions, 3 wild cards.
Okay.
What if the number 1 seed had the option of not taking the bye, of playing the number 6, and 2 and 3 get buys? 2 has to take it.
Okay. I'd give 2 the option.
If one decides it wants to play to keep its timing and to, sell those tickets.
Well, then it keeps teams like the Braves, even though they ended up being the number 1 overall seed, from coasting the last month of the year too. Which we talked about that. We talked about how this team, these games don't matter.
They hadn't had anything to play for in a month. Probably.
And they got lax. Maybe
even that trip to Miami
you could see it. It was just going through the motions.
Let's just get done and get to the playoffs, and take another week off.
And instead,
does that incentivize the number 1 seed a little bit?
I think it does.
Or reward the number 1 seed a little bit? If they feel like they need the time off, they can take it. If they feel like they'd rather play, they can play. 2 and 3 get the buys.
That would certainly be an interesting way to do it.
I don't know. But it feels like, if anybody's paying attention and if anybody wants to address it, it feels like something needs to be done.
There are options. I just feel like that's his ultimate plan. I think his ultimate plan is to
shorten the regular season.
Get enough baseball fans so angry about the postseason that they say, well, let's shorten the regular season and play a longer postseason. And
like I said, he just doesn't strike me as being that type of mastermind, but maybe.
Look, I've been fooled before.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my theory. Whether it holds water or not, I don't know, don't care. But because I can't stop it, even if it is his.
No.
Oh man, my good friend and friend of the show, Matt Mitchell, the SEC roll call guy, said last night, replace umpires with computers. Doesn't have to be even be a good one, just like an O2 gateway.
Damn.
He was frustrated last night, as we all were, but boy, tough night. Although ump scorecard says that the guy had a pretty good game. As a matter of fact, didn't think any of the 9th inning calls against the Braves were incorrect.
Did it look at the Vaughn Grissom at bat?
Apparently it did. And apparently we were all wrong. Although the ball was 6 inches inside. Go figure. So I'm not sure how much stock you can put into, and it's not ump scorecard's fault, but they're using data from Major League Baseball. So
reminds me of when I was taking computer programming classes at MTSU. GIGO, garbage in, garbage out.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. Let's go into a little college football because the Associated Press handed out some mid-season awards. Yes, was it yesterday or earlier this week at some point?
It was Wednesday, I believe it was.
So let's take a look at their SEC mid-season honorees from. Is it Zenor, John Zenor?
I think it's Zenor.
And former AL.com guy, but I never asked him how to say his name.
As long as you could spell it. Yeah.
I spelled it fine. But Jaden Daniels,
Offensive Player of the Year,
and Alabama linebacker Dallas Turner are offensive and defensive players of the year to this point. Daniels.
They kind of went a little defensive player with Mississippi State linebacker Jet Johnson.
Okay. I mean, Jaden Daniels has thrown for 1969, 19 touchdowns, 2 picks, ran for 422 and 4 touchdowns. And that sounds fantastic, but they also scored 70 points against Grambling.
That 422 rushing yards is 8th in the league.
For any position.
Yeah. So.
I mean.
2nd in FBS in passing efficiency and total offense, 3rd in passing yards. Averaging nearly 400. I'm sorry, averaging nearly 400 total yards a game. But
yeah, I mean,
if it's not him, who is it?
It
becomes a question.
Certainly be him. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. I mean, he's thrown for he only threw 1 touchdown against Florida State, but that was an outlier. 5 against Grambling, 2 against Mississippi State. He didn't need to throw. He completed 30 passes in that game, and only 2 of them for touchdowns.
That's wild.
4 touchdowns against Arkansas, 4 against Ole Miss, and 3 against Missouri. And so, I mean, yeah, this is a guy who's certainly been the most impactful offensive player in the league. I don't think there's any question there. And defensively, I don't think there's any question. I'm surprised that there are 2 guys on this list because to me, Dallas Turner has been the most valuable player on defense in the league.
Well, Jet Johnson has 66 total tackles, 6.5 for loss, 4 sacks, and he's had 14 tackles in each of Mississippi State's 3 SEC games.
Yeah, I understand. 14. Like the numbers are great. The numbers are there, but as far as and I guess player of the year isn't necessarily most valuable, but to me, Dallas Turner is by far the most valuable player on Alabama's team, and at this point, their defense has carried them to several wins, and I just feel like 6.5 sacks and has done nothing but just again menace opposing quarterbacks to this point.
6.5 sacks, 8 hurries, 9 tackles for loss, and 2 forced fumbles.
Yeah, and he's an edge guy. I mean, that's all he really does. It's what he's supposed to do is get to the quarterback, and he does that at a higher clip than anybody else in the Southeastern Conference. But hey, I mean, look, clearly Jet Johnson has had a heck of a year. 6.5 tackles for losses, just as good technically. I mean, a sack is just a tackle for loss.
Right. It just happens to be on the quarterback.
Yes. So Caleb Downs, the Alabama safety, is midseason freshman of the year.
I'm telling you, man, a true freshman coming in, and you mentioned Kool-Aid McKinstry and some other guys who have done it, and that to me, coming in and starting as a true freshman in the defensive secondary for a defensive secondary coach like Nick Saban, that's just off the charts for me.
You know what? I would love, let me see if I can find out how many freshmen have started. Because to me, it feels like there have actually been a lot of them.
Really?
But I wonder if it's because he's so good at identifying great
guys that
defensive
can.
backs.
There you go.
And he's able to, when he goes into a defensive back's home, it's usually between him and LSU, and he can kind of make it happen. I don't know. I have plenty of friends who could probably tell me off the top of their head, but I mean, they just get 5-star after 5-star defensive backs, man. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why you see it. I mean, you could go back to Dre Kirkpatrick played as a freshman. I mean, there just seems like there's been a lot of them, and
Did he
that's
play?
why.
Did he play week 1?
I think so. Dre was Dre. I mean, he was an NFL caliber guy from day one. But and there aren't a lot of those guys out there. But I wonder if he's just really good at identifying guys who are NFL level talents in high school. And then, of course, you get them for a summer, and all you have to really do is teach them your scheme, and you don't have to worry about, trying to change their mechanics or anything to get them better, faster, stronger, etc. And Nick Saban he's definitely the GOAT in recruiting. There's no question there.
First year transfer.
Yeah, I think this is kind of unfortunate, but Ray Davis, the transfer from Vanderbilt to Kentucky, leads the SEC in rushing
and
scoring. But 7.2 yards a carry for 653 yards, 8 scores on the ground, 12 total touchdowns. Dude is just insane, unreal.
280 yards, 4 touchdowns in the win against Florida. I mean, it's unfortunate for Vanderbilt that he's not there, but he certainly getting it done up in Lexington. So most surprising team, I guess this is positively surprising.
Well, no, let's not forget Luther Burden III is most surprising player, who has certainly been the most surprising player, I think. The dude was all Chris League talked about, just about. I mean, when we talked about them before Vanderbilt, he has been fantastic. 54 catches, 793, and 5 touchdowns. Even for a 5-star recruit, you didn't expect that, particularly because he was at Missouri.
Well, yeah, and you didn't expect that because you weren't necessarily sold on who was going to be throwing it to him.
Yeah.
And Brady Cook's done a heck of a job.
He has, in fact. Now, most surprising team is also
Missouri,
because they're 5-1 after their win over Kansas State. They jumped into the rankings, and their 10-point loss to LSU
at home
gave them their first loss. But I don't think anybody expected Missouri to be 5-1 at this point in the season. I certainly did not.
No.
Now, how many games they win from here on out, Mo? I'm not saying they're going to, go winless, but they've got a tough schedule, tough row to hoe. The rest of the way does Missouri.
Starting with tomorrow's trip to 24th ranked Kentucky.
It's interesting because, you kind of think, well, and to me, this is probably one of the better matchups of the week. I think 2 really good offenses. I'm not sure that Missouri can stop Ray Davis, but I don't think that Kentucky can stop Luther Burden and Brady Cook. So,
well, I mean, I'm not going to ding Missouri for not being able to stop Ray Davis because nobody else has either.
Well, outside of Georgia.
Well,
and there you go. But yeah, then they got South Carolina at home before they go to Georgia, Tennessee at home, Florida, and Arkansas. And this is an 8-win team, probably. I mean, I don't see any reason why they can't beat Florida. I don't really see any reason why they can't beat Arkansas.
It's a rivalry game, though, and it's a little harder to predict.
And it's on the road.
I would think they should beat South Carolina
at home
in Como. Yeah,
you'd think. So I feel like this is 8 wins,
7
probably.
to 9.
Yeah, 7 to 9. I think 9 is their ceiling for sure. But yeah, this is a good football team. So yeah, quite surprising that they have been that good. Disappointing team, Mo. South Carolina has been named the most disappointing team by the Associated Press. They came into the season with high expectations, obviously beating Clemson last year to end the season. They finished the year ranked 23rd, but they're 2-3. Now, their 3 losses have been to 12th ranked North Carolina, top ranked Georgia, and 19th ranked Tennessee. So it's almost like, yeah, at some point you've got to win those games, but you also can't feel too bad in year 2 of Shane Beamer for losing to teams like North Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee, especially Tennessee on the road.
And so they've got Florida tomorrow in Columbia before they go to Como.
They should. They need to win that game. I think that's a game that Shane Beamer needs to win,
particularly at home,
because it's at home. I think that's the reason it's almost must win, because it's at home,
and because their next 2 games are at Missouri and at Texas A&M.
Yeah, you need to get that one just to give yourself a little confidence going into 2 really tough environments.
Then they come back home.
Is that when Jacksonville State? That's right.
Yeah, the Battle of the Gamecocks. And then they've got Vanderbilt at Williams-Brice the second weekend in November. Finish up. Wow. Their last 4 games are at home.
Okay.
Jacksonville State, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Clemson.
And all 4 of those are winnable games because they're at home.
They should be.
I mean,
if you have made the improvements that
they beat
South Carolina thinks they've made under Shane Beamer,
and they beat Kentucky last year on the road. So what makes you think they wouldn't beat them at home at Williams-Brice? And they have that extra motivation of, we don't put sunglasses on and all that crap that Stoops talked. So. Well, here it is, the hottest seat, as I have said. Didn't expect it. At the beginning of the year, who was on the hottest seat? Jimbo Fisher. Right?
Well, yeah.
And so now the hottest seat in the SEC, according to the Associated Press and to Chris Yao, is Arkansas coach Sam Pittman. He is 21-21 at Arkansas.
Past that, though, what are they now? Are they 2-3?
They're 0-3 in the SEC. That's what I know.
2-4, because they also lost to BYU, right?
That's right, they did.
They beat Western Carolina and Kent State and have not won since. Lost at home to BYU, lost at LSU 34-31. Lost in Arlington to A&M, lost last week at Ole Miss, go to Alabama this weekend, 2-5.
Not good.
Then they've got...
I don't know if they make a bowl.
After tomorrow against Alabama, they are at home against Mississippi State, they're at Florida, they're at home against Auburn, they're at home against Florida International, and they're at home against Missouri. So
they're going to have to win a game that they're not supposed to win. I think Auburn is the crux of their bowl hopes.
Well, I mean, again, a loss to Alabama puts them at 2-5.
Right.
They've got to win 4 of that last 5, and I don't know that there's 4 wins.
I think they can beat Florida. I think they can. I think they have to beat Auburn for it to make sense. And then, I mean, Missouri is a toss-up. You said. I think as it's at
Mississippi
home.
State.
Mississippi State is a toss-up because it's on the road. Remember?
No, it's at Fayetteville.
It's at home. Okay, well then I think Arkansas gets the. But even still, they're going to have to win some games.
They got to win 4 of their last 5.
And I'm not sure they can do that. I'm just not.
Yeah. So, and if Arkansas isn't at least going to bowl games, at least.
Yeah. And a 6-win season sends you to Birmingham, most likely.
Yeah.
That's not ideal.
No. So, yeah, it might be getting a little warm for Coach Pittman. That'd be unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, but I mean, they've had the talent, at least skill-wise. They've had the talent.
Well, it'd be a shame to waste KJ Jefferson.
And
we're big KJ Jefferson.
And honestly, I feel like they have
mm-hmm.
the last 2 years. So, biggest injury of the year to this point, Connor Wegman of Texas A&M. I don't think there's any question there.
Yeah,
I mean,
but again, as we said earlier, and as Rodrigue kind of alluded to when we had him on earlier today, Max Johnson has certainly not hurt them.
No, he's not been bad. Outside of the pick six to Bama. Again, it's Bama.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, who's to say that Wegman wouldn't have thrown a pick six?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with Dallas Turner on the edge,
mm-hmm.
Watch out. So, all right. Couple other things before we get out of here and get to picks. The scheduling debate continues, and apparently they are on a 7 rotating, 1 permanent opponent, 8-game schedule right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible. That can't happen, Mo.
1 permanent,
7 rotating.
And what's the 9th? Or they're playing 8?
Just 8.
7 rotating.
Well, it's you would basically play everywhere every other year. Every 4 years you would play everywhere.
Everywhere. So,
but you lose 16 natural rivalries. 16. That's 1 rivalry per team.
Yeah, because I mean Alabama, Auburn.
Yeah.
Florida, Georgia. Tennessee, Vanderbilt. Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
You're going to lose Ole Miss, LSU. You're going to lose Alabama, Tennessee. You're going to lose Tennessee, Georgia. You're going to lose Georgia, Auburn. You're going to lose. Now, here's the other option. There's the
especially since you're not playing divisions, right?
Right, no divisions. You've got the 6-3 option, which is 9 games, or the 5-3 option. Because over a span of 24 years, which I know that sounds crazy, but over a span of 24 years, you'd actually only lose 1 game on the road to somewhere. So you would still play everybody in a 4-year span. You just wouldn't play home and home. You would play everybody, but you wouldn't necessarily play everybody at home and on the road.
Mm-hmm.
You would just play everybody.
I just don't know how. I don't know how it works not being a 9-game schedule.
It's got to be 9.
Yeah. So.
But now that Alabama's 3 permanent opponents are LSU, Auburn, and Tennessee, and Tennessee's 3 permanent opponents are Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Alabama, things seem to be okay. I'm not opposed. I just feel like it's got to be 9, but it certainly, ups the ante on the strength of schedule, and it will make everybody mad.
Oh yeah.
When 10 SEC teams should have 10 of the top 25 toughest schedules. That's SEC bias. No, you are the ones who wanted us to play this. We don't have Minnesota, Nebraska, Rutgers, Illinois, Northwestern, Purdue half the time, Indiana. We don't have 7 teams that suck. I'm sorry.
And you asked for it. It's kind of that Nick Saban thing. Is this what you want? Okay. We need to get to this last point before we break.
Steve Smith last night on Thursday Night Football, he and Jerry Jeudy got a little beef. And
they got a whole cow.
Yeah. Steve Smith approached Jerry Jeudy, the Broncos wide receiver, and says his intent was to apologize for calling him a jag, just another guy, on a podcast a couple years ago, or maybe last year, I don't know. saying that he wasn't worth the #1 pick that they spent on him. Now, Steve Smith made a living catching passes from Jake Delhomme. Okay. So miss me with any Russell Wilson slander. Okay. Jerry Jeudy's response, however, was IDFWY. I don't mess with you.
I don't mess with you.
Except he didn't say mess.
Ninja, as Steve Smith said.
Yes. He basically said, look, don't talk to me.
I don't mess with you.
And so Steve tells the story on the air, but also apologized
for calling him a jag.
Because
that was his intent.
Here's the
so thing. Even if you won't let me tell you directly, I'm going to say it. I apologize for calling you a jag.
But here's the thing, and even if I don't think that Jerry Jeudy is just another guy. I don't think that Denver's offense helps Jerry Jeudy in much because they have no run game to speak of. And so Russell Wilson's struggling because it's all on Russell's shoulders. And now hearing rumors that Jerry Jeudy may be headed to the Colts, and that scares the ever-loving Jesus out of me. Because Jerry Jeudy on the Colts, with their running attack, and Gardner Minshew / Anthony Richardson, could be dangerously good. That being said, Jerry Jeudy has more receiving yards than Steve Smith did through 3 years. Yeah. Jerry Jeudy has more receiving yards than Steve Smith did through 3 years. So maybe calm down, Steve. Maybe his career just needs to get
play
a little
out
longer. Because Steve wasn't that great in his first 3 years, okay? He was just kind of a guy.
A jack.
He was just a guy.
Oh, I want you to tell Steve that.
I mean, it's the facts. If you're saying that Jerry Jeudy is just, which is he not, admittedly he's not anymore. But I also don't think that Jerry Jeudy was worth the first-round pick. I think he's above average, so not necessarily just a guy,
but not a first round.
But not a first round. He's not
somewhere in between.
Because it is, as one of my friends in one of my fantasy football mates said, the elite receivers elevate their offenses no matter what. Like the guys who are the guy who were worth first-round picks, and he named several, and I think that he was probably right. But let's see. Mike Evans balled out with Jameis Winston. Look what D-Hop had before Deshaun Watson. And Garrett Wilson last year had Zach Wilson. And yet those guys are elite. Jerry Jeudy's not elite, but he's also not just a guy.
Hey, before we dip out, and I know we got to get to picks, but scrolling through Twitter as I am wont to do.
You are?
I came across something and I just shared it with you and Justin. Justin, if you could check your DMs. Well, maybe I didn't share it with you, but I meant to.
He has slid into your DMs, Jake.
Yeah.
And
Justin,
I have not received it.
Hang on just a second.
No worries.
We're efforting to learn how
okay.
to.
See if you got it, and if you did, see if you can throw it up on the screen.
Yep.
Here's what I'm going to say about this. I like it, but I hope that red helps offset the blue on the black. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, If it doesn't, it could get ugly. But if it does, oh my goodness.
If you can read the numbers.
If you can read the numbers, oh my goodness.
Those are fire. And those helmets are even better. The helmets are flat black, and the TSU is
it silver?
I can't tell if it's white.
Is it gloss black?
That's what I was thinking. Is it gloss black?
I swear, I think every helmet should be matte, whatever. Like, the Vikings have matte purple. It looks so.
Yeah. If that's matte black,
I'm in.
With gloss black lettering,
let's go. I'm in. Tennessee State.
I wonder if they're wearing these tomorrow night or tomorrow against Norfolk. It's got to be a night game if you're going blackout, right?
It says. It does not say.
Just says new unis for TSU Tigers football.
Giving the people what they want 59 seconds ago. So I'm going to go with.
Oh, there's a hype video. Do you want me to play it?
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead and play that hype video.
Stand by.
Justin's whole computer just died.
No.
There it is. Here we go. That's it. That's the hype video. Okay.
Sorry.
Thought it was going to be better than that.
Just confused us more.
Are you not hyped?
It was only 15 seconds. It was not long enough for me to get hyped.
I'm not, in fact, hyped.
I was far hyper when I just saw the picture.
Yeah.
The initial reaction got me pretty hyped. That's pretty cool. I think they are going to wear them tomorrow, and I can't wait. I hope they do.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
10 games to pick in college football against the spread. We'll do it right after this. Stick around on Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back after this.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handlers supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well-rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
That is so. Talk about getting hyped. That makes me hype. Well done, Justin. Well,
it's kind of fitting because our picks have been kind of scary. So.
Yeah, scary picks, scary
picks.
It's time to go pick them. Justin, what are you wearing there? You got your little little rain jacket on?
Yeah, man, I do actually. Hold on, we'll see what kind of layout we need here. Yeah, well, it's a little chilly. It's really thin, so
I had to do a wardrobe change in the middle of the segment earlier.
Yeah, because yours was not thin.
It was not, so I had to go thin. So yeah, you're right. It's kind of like April 13th.
The perfect day.
The perfect day.
Yeah.
So just need a light jacket.
Let's,
exactly.
Go through those.
Let's recap real quick.
Recap.
Justin went 3-7 last week, 4-7 with the bonus game of Alabama by -2.5. Got that one right. Chris was 5-5, 5-6 because he took Texas A&M in that bonus game, and I was 7-3, 7-4 because I took Texas A&M.
What's the overall?
I won 5 games. Surprise,
What's the overall record for everybody?
Overall, you are 28-32. Counting the bonus games, you are 32-33.
Wow, you're killing the bonus games.
Let's go.
Yao is 27-33, 30-35 counting the bonus games. And I am 29-31, 32-33 counting the bonus games.
So we're all neck to neck, though.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh
right
yeah,
there close.
We're all.
You had a
we're
big
all
comeback
pretty,
week this week.
Yeah, we're all pretty mediocre. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, against the spread though, 500 will typically do you pretty good.
If we were all betting though, we would have lost as much money as we've gotten.
Exactly.
It would be we just have to start learning how to parlay some of these. Game number 1, 11 o'clock on CBS. We've talked about it already. Vanderbilt at First Bank Stadium will host the Georgia Bulldogs, and we'll see how much red is in the stadium on
26.5.
31.5. 31.5 points, Justin.
31.5 for who? I'm just kidding. Am I up or?
Yeah,
you are.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna go Georgia for sure. Yeah, definitely.
It's a lot of points.
It is, but like 42-7 covers.
Yeah,
42-10.
By the way, I like that y'all do that whole math thing and say it like the 42.
Yeah, because
it helps me out.
You feel like that's what the score might be.
42-10 covers. I'm taking UGA.
I don't know that Vanderbilt's going to score a touchdown though. It may be 42-9 more than it'd be 42-10.
Golly, they'd have to get like so many penalties on Georgia's defense for them to drive down the field.
So I'm going to take Georgia as well, which means Vanderbilt's definitely going to cover because we all took Georgia. Right. So congratulations
to the Commodores. Yeah.
Like I took that personal.
11 o'clock on Fox, big noon kickoff. Which, geez, Indiana at Michigan. What's the line on this one?
Indiana at Michigan.
If Georgia Vandy's 31.5, what is this one?
It's not that much. It's what, 27.5, 28?
34.5. 35-0.
Covers.
You're right.
It's just 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. You know, when you put it that way.
30.
And Indiana's bad.
Right. It's only 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
49-14 is a cover. I'm going Michigan.
I'm going Michigan. Yeah.
Me too. Let's all
So go load up on the Hoosiers. I'm going to parlay Vanderbilt and Indiana tomorrow.
and pretty sure the odds are probably like plus 1,800 for them to win or like the other team. Someone's gonna get rich because of this if they do the opposite.
Also at 11 a.m. on ESPN, Arkansas at Alabama, 19.5 in favor of the Tide.
Interesting.
Yeah, 19.5.
It's
That is an interesting number.
Is it where are they playing at?
It's at
in
Alabama.
Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 31-10 covers, but 31-14 does not.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go Tide then. Oh, that's a tough one though.
13 covers, but 38.
Oh.
Well, shoot, even 38-17 covers. You're going Alabama, Justin?
I am. Just after hearing all those other points, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go Alabama.
Yeah, I'm going Alabama as well.
I'm going to take Arkansas.
I like that as being one of those that like you win and we don't. You know what I mean? Like
I think it's close. I think it's and so yeah, I'm going to go Arkansas.
All right.
I won't be surprised if they lose by 21, but I also won't be surprised if they lose by 17. So
right. SEC, man, who knows?
Yeah. In Utah at 2:00 Central Time on the Pac-12 network. So did it really happen? Cal goes to Utah. The Utes a 13.5-point favorite.
That was awesome. That was perfect. Did it really happen? Did y'all actually play? I mean, who knows?
Nobody knows. If a bear walks to Utah and plays a football game, but it's on the Pac-12 network
in the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day, does anyone really know?
Yeah.
It's 2 touchdowns, guys. All in favor of Utah.
Well, I'm gonna go Utah.
I too am going to take the Utes.
They're a fun mix.
Did you say Utes?
What's a Ute?
What is a Ute?
I don't know what a Ute is, but I'm taking it.
Yeah. Are you saying you?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Utes. Still my favorite. Here's the game of the day. 2:30 on ABC. Oregon, Washington. Huskies 3.5.
Where?
In Washington. That's why it's 3.5 in favor of the Huskies because it's a pick 'em.
Huskies get crazy, don't they, fans?
Yeah, things can get a little wild.
Oregon at Washington. The Huskies are a 3.5-point favorite.
If it were in Autzen, Oregon would be a
3.5-point favorite.
So,
That's true. That's true. I, like I think I mentioned this before, but ever since seeing Oregon's coach locker room speech after they beat Buffalo, I got to ride with this guy. He's.
So you're taking Oregon?
Yeah, definitely.
I've been listening to Chris gush about Michael Penix all year, and I think he's going to be the difference in this one. I think it's Washington by a touchdown. I'm taking the Huskies.
Give me Bo Nix's Heisman moment in this one. He finally overtakes Michael Penix in the Heisman talk in this one.
So you're taking Oregon to cover.
I've got the Ducks. I got the Ducks to win.
Quack, quack.
That's
you're
right.
taking them outright. Okay.
2:30 on Big Ten Network. Penn State at home, speaking Japanese or not. Oh, you missed that?
Oh, that's a perfect clip. I'll try to find him while we're talking about this.
No, we don't have time. But yeah, it's if you've not seen it, it's fantastic.
You'd love it, Mo.
They've got Massachusetts.
Oh Lord, UMass.
Yeah, the team that saved us from chips and peas and gravy. Going to Penn State, and this one's 43.5.
I was going to say 41.
43.5. So I don't know, man.
43.5.
Massachusetts is a place I cannot spell on paper. Let's. I'm going to definitely go Penn State though.
That's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points, but UMass is awful.
Yeah, but like, does James Franklin not just pack it up at some point?
No,
That's true. He is a good guy.
I don't think he can afford to pack it up. Again, this needs to be a special year for Penn State, and hammering UMass 52-7 would help.
I hope that guy that asked him that question in that interview is just there, like annoying him the whole time.
That was awful.
That's what he's talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
He said James Franklin said you're speaking Japanese.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like, I don't even know what language you're speaking.
It was really bad.
Oh.
Franklin went a little too far.
Well,
the dude doubled down. He doubled down.
He did double down.
Well, he doubled down online with receipts. So not only did he, at least he brought receipts with his double down, because he did. So I'm giving him credit for bringing the receipts.
That's a little.
Just search Twitter for speaking Japanese. You'll find it.
Oh goodness, that'll bring it up. Huh?
You'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be the first top hit probably.
You taking UMass?
I'm taking Penn State.
Oh. All right. Good.
5:30 on the CW. 14th ranked Louisville on the road at Pitt. Panthers a home dog, 8.5 points. 1-4, by the way. 1-4 Pittsburgh.
Louisville at Pitt.
Not terrible though, are they?
They're not terrible.
Yeah, I feel like they're not that bad of a team. You say 8.5?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Pitt here. I'm gonna throw a crazy wrench in it and go Pitt.
I think Louisville's at least 10 points better than Pitt. I'm going with the Cardinals.
I'm with you. I think they win this one, even if it is at Pitt. I don't think Pitt's atmosphere is going to be that.
I don't think being at Pitt
matters.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be plenty of Louisville fans there. This one may be the biggest G5 game since last week. That included Wyoming. Wyoming is on the road at Air Force. Air Force 9.5-point favorites.
Aren't they? They're pretty good this year.
They are good. They are very good. They're throwing the ball around.
Oof.
I think there's too much film on them now. I'm gonna go. Who did you say they were playing?
Wyoming.
Yeah, Wyoming.
I don't think it's a bad pick.
I don't either.
I think Wyoming's been doing, again, their only loss is to Texas, number 9 Texas. So I think I'm going to go Wyoming too. I think Wyoming proved everything they needed to prove to me last week against Fresno.
Agreed.
I have a tough time thinking that Air Force is going to beat Wyoming by double digits. So I'm going with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's just hard to think that they'll score that many points. I don't know why, but
right. 6 o'clock on the Pac-12 network again. Arizona at Washington State. 8.5 in favor of the Cougs. In Pullman.
These 8-point lines are.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Washington State here. I think anytime they get a chance to prove a point against a team that's leaving, they're going to.
I like that. I'll do that as well.
My concern is Arizona's performance last week against USC at USC.
Arizona's 3-3 this year. This ain't Rich Rod's Arizona Wildcats.
Thank goodness.
Nor is it
Kevin Sumlin's. Yeah. Man, I'm going to take Arizona.
All right. And 6 o'clock on ESPN, Auburn at LSU, 11.5 points in favor of the Bayou Bengals.
11?
11.5. Bayou Bengals. The faves. It's at night in Baton Rouge. I've got the Bayou Bengals.
There you go.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yep.
It's at night, and Auburn's not good. Mm-hmm. So, bonus game.
Who you got, JK?
I'm going to go with LSU as well.
Bonus game. They've checkered Neyland. Here we go. The Vols, a 3-point favorite over visiting Texas A&M. Who you got, Justin?
the balls.
3.5.
Well, it's 3. We're going to go 3.5 so that there's no push.
Definitely balls.
Yeah, I think Tennessee wins the game. So
Yeah.
UT.
I also
You got the Vols as well.
I do have the ball.
There's a viral video of real quick of Heupel when he was playing. God, where did he go to school or where did he go to college?
Oklahoma.
He extended a play from 4th and 14 and scored touchdown. So that's
Yeah, picked up 12 yards on. Yeah,
Yep.
I said that it was the slowest first down scramble in the history of college football.
I think he would
Peyton Manning
actually
took
agree with that.
exception to that.
Oh yeah.
So
I took that personally.
Hey guys, come back with us on Monday. We have a special show live from Conference USA Basketball Media Days in Huntsville, Alabama. We'll be on the road show, fueled by Fast Stop. So come with us at 2:00 on Monday, right here on Main Street. Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint.